Okay, so let's get right into it. Have you ever gotten a blood test report back and just stared at it, feeling like you need a secret decoder ring? Well, today we're going to tackle two of those mystery items you see all the time, creatinine and bilirubin.
So imagine this, right? You're looking at your results and you see two things flagged as high. You know, creatinine is about your kidneys and bilirubin is about your liver, and you think, wait a second, these are two totally different parts of the body. They don't seem related at all, so why on earth are they both high at the same time? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to piece together today.
All right, our first clue in this whole thing starts with creatinine. Think of this as the kidney's report card. It's one of the main ways our body tells us how well those crucial filters are working.
So what is this stuff anyway? Well, every single day, just by you moving around, your muscles are working. And as they break down and repair themselves, they create this waste product called creatine. The analogy here is perfect. If your muscles are the engine, creatine is the exhaust smoke. It's a totally normal byproduct that just needs to be cleared out of your system.
Now, labs have these normal ranges they look at. For most adult men, you're looking at something like 0.7 to 1.3 milligrams per deciliter. For women, it's a little bit lower, and that's usually just because of differences in average muscle mass. These numbers give doctors a baseline, a starting point to see if everything's running smoothly.
And this is where it gets really important. If your creatinine levels are creeping up, it's a huge signal. It usually means your kidneys, the body's master filtration system, aren't doing a great job clearing out that exhaust smoke. It's like the filters getting clogged. And on the other hand, super low levels could mean something else entirely, like low muscle mass.
Okay, let's bring in our second person of interest in this mystery, bilirubin. If creatinine is the kidney's story, bilirubin is definitely the liver's report. It tells us what's going on in the body's main chemical processing plant.
Your body is super efficient, right? It's like this incredible recycling plant. Your red blood cells have a limited lifespan, about 120 days. When they get old, the body breaks them down to reuse the parts. Bilirubin is the yellowish pigment that's left over from that process. It's the liver's job to grab this stuff and get it ready for removal.
But wait, it gets a little more specific. There are actually two flavors of bilirubin. First, you have the raw, unconjugated form. It isn't water-soluble, so it has to hitch a ride to the liver. Then, the liver works its magic, processes it, and turns it into conjugated bilirubin, which is water-soluble and can be easily flushed out of the body. Knowing which type is high is a major clue for doctors.
And just like with creatinine, we've got normal ranges to look at. A lab will give you a total bilirubin number, but they also break it down into the direct or conjugated form. By looking at these separate numbers, a doctor can start to pinpoint exactly where in that recycling and disposal process things might be going wrong.
This is exactly why that breakdown is so important. If it's the raw, unconjugated type that's high, it could mean the body is breaking down red blood cells too fast for the liver to keep up. But if the processed, conjugated type is high, that's a flashing red light pointing straight at a problem with the liver itself or a blockage in the bile ducts.
Okay, so we've met our two characters. Creatinine, the kidney guy, bilirubin, the liver guy. They work in different departments, they handle different things. So we come back to our original question. How could they both be out of whack at the same time?
And here it is, the big reveal, the plot twist. Is there a direct physiological link between creatinine and bilirubin? The answer is none. Absolutely zero. Creatinine doesn't cause bilirubin to go up, and bilirubin doesn't cause creatinine to go up. They operate in their own separate worlds.
So that begs the question, right? If they don't talk to each other, if there's no direct connection, then what is the real story here? How do we solve this mystery?
Well, the answer is that they aren't directly connected, but they can be victims of the same problem. Think of it this way. A single major event can cause damage in two different places. We're talking about big, systemic issues here, like severe liver disease that gets so bad it starts to harm the kidneys, or a massive infection like sepsis that causes multi-organ failure, or even certain drugs that are toxic to both organs.
Let's make this real with a textbook example called hepatorenal syndrome. It's a chain reaction. Step 1, the liver fails badly, so bilirubin just skyrockets. Step 2, this failing liver messes up the body's circulation so badly that blood flow to the kidneys drops, like way down. And step 3, the kidneys, now starved of blood and oxygen, start to fail too. They can't filter waste anymore, so creatinine climbs. See? One organ's failure directly caused the others.
So why is this so important to understand? Why does this indirect link matter so much? Well, it's all about seeing the bigger picture. It's about seeing the forest, not just the trees.
This chart really sums it up perfectly, doesn't it?
They come from different places, they're handled by different organs, and they signal different problems. And that last row is the most important one. There is no direct link. They're independent witnesses reporting on what's happening in their part of the body.
And that is the key takeaway. When a doctor sees just one of these is high, they focus their investigation on that one organ. But when both are high, that's a game changer. It's a massive red flag that the problem isn't just in one spot anymore. It's become a major, body-wide systemic issue that requires a much more serious and urgent response.
It really makes you think, you know? Our bodies are this incredibly complex web of interconnected systems. Understanding one number is useful, but understanding how different numbers relate to each other, even indirectly, that's where the real story is. It makes you wonder, what other hidden connections are just waiting to be found in our own health data?